for joining us.
I'm Joe LaRocca, and here with co-MC
Amber
Bradley.
Yay!
Hey, we can do this.
Are we getting a little lackadaisical in our ninth season here?
Not at all.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
We're out there preparing for what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, at least now it's just you and I.
You
know, whenever
it's old home week.
We have to tell, whenever we have a third person, we have to tell them, don't walk backwards. Say, I want to do like the Michael Jackson moonwalk.
Which makes Ian
away
go
from the
crazy,
table,
so
and they get
walking back from the
smaller
hot
and
table.
smaller. Right?
Yeah, I got to get up there.
We're just being silly.
We are being silly.
You want to
but
talk serious about
let's
anything?
Be serious. I think we should.
Okay.
Just to prove that I can do it. So, Joe.
Amber.
So this year, we are honoring the National Retail Federation's Loss Prevention Advisory Council because as we talked to Bob LaRocca already, no relation, I can't help it. I still can't let it go.
Can't let it go.
That he was talking about how this council really steers the NRF and talking about their different initiatives and what they should cover and things like that. So, but you have been a member of this council.
I have been.
In the room with these folks.
In the room.
Yes.
More than once.
More than, yes.
More than once.
And as the circle, the ring, the golden circle of the
ring
ring
of
of
excellence.
excellence. That's where I was going with it. You didn't give me enough time. Congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank
And
you.
I'm serious. It's such a
Thank
big
you.
honor.
Thank you.
So seriously, though, tell us about that and being in the room with those professionals and how it works.
Sure. Well, to start, the Loss Prevention Advisory Council is a group of the senior-most leaders within the retail loss prevention space at major companies that you most likely know and love and shop at, hopefully. And these people are pulled together as members of the National Retail Federation, and they do a number of different things. What they're best known for is probably helping to plan the annual NRF Protect conference each June. But there are a number of different committees. Some talk about organized retail crime, others, the Women in Loss Prevention Caucus, and then pulling together the awards program, recognizing volunteers in action, and the law enforcement retail partnership programs that are out there. The lesser known work that they do might be around the programs like the Active Shooter program that rolled out across the country several years ago, helping to develop surveys like the Return Fraud Survey, the Organized Retail Crime Survey, the Background Check Survey, all byproducts of the members of the LP Advisory Council.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if they had a role in the surveys, because I think that, you know, is always difficult for associations to keep their finger on the pulse of what's happening, and how do you evolve those questions into something that's truly relevant, because every year it's out of date and you have to relook at the research.
You know, you make a good point. It's almost daily, weekly now, we see things changing in retail with the new technology, the new regulatory schemes that are going in place, and then of course with e-commerce and the quick rise of so many different companies and so many different ways of, you know, buy online, pick up in store, etc. So that's why the senior leaders pull together, talk about these important issues. And the NRF has done a good job of tapping multiple sectors within the retail industry to understand the challenges that the LP discipline is facing. But more importantly than anything in the LP space, we're not in an LP world, we're in retail. And the LP executives of today really understand that their job is really to help improve the profitability of the organization. And they are just one tool within an arsenal that does that. So they have certain levers they might design and help the company implement and take that to the C-level as one possible resource. So that return policy that was strong and robust in 2005 probably changed during the recession and may go back as a way to save on margin in 2015 or 2018. So you start to see LP leaders helping to make big company decisions.
Well, because you also have criminals always changing the way that they're operating as well. When you
Right.
talk about sophisticated return fraud or cyber breaches or all of these things, you know, as the technology changes, so does the criminal's MO, which then, you know, goes back to organizations like NRF and others to really look at what's happening, and then how do they help give the industry the information to solve it.
That's right. I mean, just if you go back a decade and look at how merchandise credits were handled, or just general returns. Typically, customers were issued a piece of paper with an amount due, right, a due bill. They were clunky, they weren't easy to track, and they certainly weren't very easy to pawn or sell in a secondary market. As merchandise credits have shifted more to the gift card format, you now can pawn or resell them in any number of secondary markets, online auction spaces, trade them at the kiosk, sell them at the pawn shop, etc. So the criminals have evolved, and that's why you find retailers looking for the new technologies around intelligence and analytics, working with their service providers in the gift card space and other places to put in the controls to prevent those types of crimes from taking place.
Okay, so I'm putting you on the spot.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. You're no stranger to the hot seat. But no, this is interesting. So I was reading the recent ORC study from NRF, and they were talking about how more retailers are dependent on technology, although we'll still be hiring temporary staff, right? And maybe even in some cases more temporary staff. So more dependent on technology, but less dependent on background checks. Thoughts?
Well, two thoughts quickly. First of all, the job market today in loss prevention, like in many parts of retail, is a tough one. So if your sole focus today is one discipline within the LP world, you are going to be outdated quickly. An LP executive today needs to understand really the entire retail equation, from logistics all the way through the sale and return aspect. Specifically related to background checks, though, some interesting things have happened, right? Ban the Box by the EEOC, that was an effort started in 2010, 2011. Some states now, like California, actually legislate against asking about any past criminal behavior. So you find that lawmakers are working against us here. Isn't it funny, though, that government people all ask that question? It's a requirement for government service, but not for retail. I digress. It's an important topic. It needs a lot of work, and we need legislators to understand what background checks really accomplish in keeping people safe and preventing theft.
Well, see, next time I'll put you on an even hotter seat.
Bring it on.
Table question. But now we're going to turn it back over to Gus Downing. It's been LPNN with Joe and Amber. Thanks for watching.